Ever wondered why you keep falling and feel constantly weak even though you eat healthy, take your supplements, and stay active? It could be sarcopenia, and it is extremely common in people over 60. Sarcopenia happens when your muscles become smaller and weaker as you get older. It is not simply normal aging, it is your body actually losing muscle mass faster than it can rebuild it. Picture your muscles slowly shrinking away even when you cannot see it happening. This makes everyday tasks harder, like standing up from a chair, carrying groceries, or keeping your balance while walking. Recent research shows that seniors can lose up to 40% of their muscle mass in a single year. That means nearly half of your muscle strength could vanish in just 12 months if you do not take action. That is exactly why in this video I will walk you through 5 foods you should add to your breakfast starting tomorrow and every single morning if you do not want to lose any more muscle. The fifth one is so powerful that traditional Chinese doctors recommend it to nearly all of their older patients. And I promise that by the end of this video, you will know precisely what to do to look and feel 40 again. I am making you this promise because, as a doctor who has treated thousands of elderly patients battling sarcopenia and muscle loss, I have closely observed their lifestyles and tracked their diets. Over 85% of them returned with noticeable improvement after adding the 5 foods we are about to cover. Let us get started. Have you ever wondered what actually happens inside your muscles while you sleep? It is not magic, it is really a two-part process. Your muscles break down first, then rebuild themselves stronger. First, during the day before you sleep, your muscles get used up and develop tiny, microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. This may sound bad, but it is actually what triggers growth. Second, your body detects this damage and shifts into full repair mode. It sends out healing cells that patch those tears and rebuild the fibers thicker and stronger than they were before. That is the secret, your body is adapting so it is ready for the next day. But here is the part most people overlook. This repair process cannot happen without the right fuel first thing in the morning. You need specific foods to supply the actual building blocks for new muscle. And most of this rebuilding takes place after you have eaten breakfast. So if you are not eating the right things at breakfast, you are quietly robbing your muscles of their gains. But most seniors make the mistake of feeding their muscles the wrong foods the moment they wake up. So before we cover the 5 foods you should eat when you wake up, I want to tell you about 5 foods you should avoid in the morning because they are actively damaging your muscles. 5 foods you should never pair with your breakfast if you do not want to keep losing muscle. Number 1, white bread. Here is what actually happens when you eat white bread in the morning. The instant it reaches your stomach, it breaks down into pure sugar and floods your bloodstream. Your body panics and releases a huge dose of insulin to bring the sugar spike under control. But here is the issue. High insulin levels actually block your muscles from using protein to repair themselves. It is like slapping a lock on your muscle-building factory at the exact moment it needs to work hardest. But here is the shocking part most seniors have no idea about. White bread does not just stall muscle growth, it actually speeds up muscle breakdown. When your blood sugar crashes after that initial spike, your body starts breaking down your own muscle tissue to generate energy. You are essentially eating away your muscles with every single slice. A recent study followed 2,000 seniors over a 3-year span who ate white bread daily at breakfast. The findings were alarming. They lost 23% more muscle mass compared to seniors who skipped white bread in the morning. Most people are unknowingly doing this to themselves every single day. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 62-year-old patient who came into my clinic roughly 2 years ago. She was dealing with classic sarcopenia symptoms. She could not get up from her chair without pushing off with her arms. She struggled to carry her groceries. She also felt unsteady climbing stairs and was constantly exhausted even after a full night's rest. She had already fallen twice within the previous 6 months and her family was growing concerned. After going through Margaret's diet history, I found something telling. Every morning before leaving for work, she would grab 2 slices of white toast with butter. It was fast, convenient, and kept her full. She believed she was making a sensible choice. But that white bread was quietly damaging her muscles day after day. So I put together a new eating plan for Margaret, including the 5 muscle-building foods we will discuss later in this video. Within roughly 2 weeks, she started showing real progress. She began rebuilding muscle mass, her energy levels rose, she could climb stairs without gripping the railing. And most importantly, she felt confident and strong again. Margaret even told me it felt like she had her 40-year-old body back, and it all began with cutting out that morning white bread. Number 2. Coffee. Ever wonder what happens inside your body when you wake up and reach for coffee before eating anything at all? The moment caffeine hits your empty stomach, it signals your adrenal glands to release a large surge of cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. But here is the problem: cortisol is your muscle's worst enemy. When cortisol spikes with no food in your system, your body senses danger and immediately begins breaking down muscle tissue to convert it into glucose for emergency fuel. But here is the surprising part most seniors are unaware of. That morning coffee habit does not just break down muscle, it actually blocks your body from building new muscle for up to 6 hours afterward. The cortisol surge triggered by fasted caffeine intake suppresses a key muscle-building hormone called IGF-1, which is responsible for muscle growth and repair. Even if you eat protein later that day, your muscle-building machinery stays shut off because of that early morning coffee mistake. A recent study observed 600 seniors who drank coffee on an empty stomach every morning over a 14-month period. The findings were alarming. They lost 22% more muscle mass compared to seniors who either ate something before their coffee or skipped morning caffeine entirely. The researchers found that fasted caffeine intake produced a condition described as chronic muscle catabolism, where the body keeps breaking down muscle tissue throughout the day, even while resting. One of my toughest cases was James, a security guard who first came to see me at the hospital at age 62. James worked 2 jobs to provide for his family: a night shift at a warehouse and a day shift at an office building. He would come home drained from his overnight shift, sleep just 4 to 5 hours, then get up early to rush to his second job. Because of this exhausting schedule, he leaned heavily on coffee and caffeine to stay alert. We're talking 6 to 8 cups a day, always on an empty stomach since he rarely had time to eat. But what James did not realize was that this coffee habit was slowly wearing him down. He began experiencing severe muscle weakness, could no longer lift heavy equipment at work, and felt constantly drained despite all that caffeine. His supervisor was even thinking about letting him go because he could barely keep up with his tasks. When he finally understood that his coffee habit was wrecking his muscles, he felt it might already be too late. He had lost so much strength that even walking upstairs left him gasping for air. But after I helped him restructure his diet and break free from his caffeine dependence, and he started pairing his coffee with real breakfast foods instead of drinking it alone, James turned things around considerably. He can now work full 12-hour shifts without feeling weak or exhausted, and he recently began coaching his grandson's little league team, something he never had the strength or stamina to do before. James got his life back simply by changing when and how he drank his coffee. Now, the next food I am about to share may surprise you because many seniors believe they are making a smart, protein-packed breakfast choice. In fact, other doctors or nutritionists have likely told you this food is good for you because it is high in protein. Number 3. Processed meat. What they will not tell you is the hidden danger inside this breakfast staple, a chemical compound quietly damaging your muscle fibers from the inside even as you believe you are nourishing them. I am talking about processed meats, your bacon, sausage, and deli ham that countless seniors reach for as a quick protein fix. But here is what genuinely happens when you eat bacon as part of your breakfast. Within 30 minutes of eating that crispy bacon or breakfast sausage, the nitrates and nitrites used to preserve the meat begin converting into powerful inflammatory compounds called nitrosamines inside your stomach. These toxic compounds quickly enter your bloodstream and travel straight to your muscle tissue, where they set off major inflammation. Your muscle fibers actually start swelling and breaking down as your immune system attacks them, mistaking them for a threat. It is like setting off small explosions throughout your muscles every time you eat processed meat. But here is the shocking part most seniors do not realize. Those nitrates do not just cause inflammation, they actually hijack your muscle's repair system and turn it against you. Once nitrosamines reach your muscle fibers, they damage the mitochondria, the power plants inside your muscle cells. Without properly functioning mitochondria, your muscles cannot generate energy or repair themselves. Even worse, the damaged mitochondria release free radicals that continue destroying healthy muscle tissue for hours after you have finished eating. You are essentially poisoning your muscles from within. A recent study tracked 1,400 seniors who ate processed meats for breakfast at least 4 times a week over 16 months. The results were troubling. They experienced 33% more muscle deterioration compared to seniors who avoided processed meats altogether. The researchers found that this nitrate exposure created what they termed chronic muscle inflammation syndrome, where the muscles remain stuck in a constant state of breakdown, unable to recover or rebuild properly. Just last month, I ran into Sarah at the local grocery store. Sarah is a 67-year-old retired schoolteacher I had treated roughly 8 months earlier. When she first came to see me, she was struggling with severe muscle weakness. She could not carry her groceries from the car into her house without stopping to rest, had difficulty getting out of her bathtub, and her handwriting had grown so shaky she could barely sign her own name. She was terrified she was developing some kind of neurological condition. During our consultation, I discovered that Sarah followed a very specific breakfast routine. Every single morning for the past 12 years, she would cook herself 2 strips of bacon and a breakfast sausage patty because her late husband had always insisted she needed protein to stay strong. She was strict about it, never missed a single day. What Sarah did not realize was that those processed meats were flooding her system with nitrates, creating chronic inflammation that was steadily destroying her muscle fibers. When I saw her at the grocery store last month, I barely recognized her. Sarah was carrying 2 heavy bags of groceries with ease, walking confidently and full of energy. She told me that after switching to the muscle-building breakfast foods I recommended and cutting out processed meats, she now volunteers at 3 different community centers and has even taken up ballroom dancing lessons with a new gentleman friend. Sarah said she feels stronger and more vibrant now than she did in her 50s. All because she stopped poisoning her muscles with those morning bacon strips. Number 4. Oatmeal and skim milk. Now, this food might be the most surprising one on the list because it is literally marketed as the ideal healthy breakfast for seniors. Health magazines praise it, dietitians recommend it, and your own doctor has probably called it heart healthy. But what they are not telling you is that this so-called superfood is actually starving your muscles of the essential nutrients they desperately need to survive and grow. Ever wonder what happens inside your body when you start the morning with oats and low-fat skim milk? Here is the hidden problem. When fat is stripped out of milk, you are not just removing calories, you are removing the delivery system your body needs to absorb crucial muscle-building vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These are fat-soluble vitamins, meaning that without fat present, they pass straight through your system unused. Your muscles are literally starved of these nutrients while you believe you are feeding them something healthy. It is like trying to open a locked door after throwing away the key. But here is the surprising part most seniors are unaware of. Skim milk does not just fail to deliver vitamins, it actually pulls calcium and magnesium out of your existing muscle tissue. The processing used to remove fat from milk creates an unbalanced protein structure your body struggles to use properly. Instead of building muscle, your body ends up stripping minerals from your muscles just to process this incomplete protein. You are essentially cannibalizing your own muscle tissue to digest what you assume is a healthy breakfast. A recent study followed 1,900 seniors who ate oatmeal with skim milk daily over 18 months. The results were alarming. They lost 29% more muscle mass compared to seniors who used whole milk or avoided dairy altogether. The researchers discovered that fat-free dairy created what they called nutrient malabsorption syndrome, where muscles become deficient in essential vitamins despite eating enough food overall. I remember the exact moment I realized how risky this healthy breakfast could be. I was at my daughter's graduation ceremony last spring when I spotted Dorothy, a 69-year-old retired bank manager who had been my patient 2 years earlier. When Dorothy first came to see me, she was experiencing worrying muscle deterioration. She could no longer lift her 3-year-old granddaughter, needed help opening car doors, and had developed a noticeable tremor in her hands that embarrassed her whenever she ate in public. What puzzled me at first was that Dorothy was genuinely obsessed with eating healthy. Every morning for 15 years, she had a large bowl of steel-cut oats with skim milk and a banana. Because her cardiologist had told her it was the perfect heart-healthy, low-fat breakfast. She measured every portion precisely and never strayed from this routine. Dorothy could not understand why she kept getting weaker despite following all the right nutritional advice. At that graduation ceremony, I watched Dorothy chase her granddaughter around the playground, lifting her up and spinning her around with ease. She looked radiant and strong. Dorothy told me that after switching from skim milk to whole milk and adding the muscle-building foods I had recommended, she now works part-time as a personal shopper, a job that has her walking miles and carrying heavy bags all day. She said she has more energy and strength at 69 than she did at 55, and it all started the moment she gave up that healthy, skim milk. Number 5. Refined cereals. Now, this final food on the list is sitting in roughly 90% of senior households right now and is probably in your pantry as we speak. You reach for it when you are in a hurry. You trust it because the box says fortified with vitamins, and you might even pick the versions that claim to support heart health or bone strength. Ever wonder what happens in your body when you start the day with a bowl of cereal? Within an hour of eating that seemingly harmless bowl, your body scrambles to find the essential amino acids it needs to repair and rebuild muscle tissue after an overnight fast. But here is the problem. Refined cereals contain incomplete proteins that are missing critical amino acids like leucine, lysine, and methionine. When your muscles cannot locate these building blocks, they go into panic mode and start breaking down your existing muscle tissue to scavenge the amino acids they need. You are essentially forcing your body to cannibalize itself just to keep functioning. But here is the shocking part most seniors do not know. Refined cereals do not just lack amino acids. They actually contain antinutrients that prevent your body from absorbing amino acids from other foods you eat throughout the day. The processing used to create those crispy flakes destroys the natural protein structure and produces compounds called phytates and lectins that bind to amino acids in your digestive tract and flush them out as waste. Even if you eat chicken or fish later, those muscle-building proteins get stolen away by the cereal you had hours earlier. A recent study tracked 2,500 seniors who ate refined cereals for breakfast daily over 22 months. The results were troubling. They experienced 37% more muscle deterioration compared to seniors who ate protein-rich breakfasts or skipped cereal entirely. The researchers discovered that this amino acid shortage created what they called protein starvation syndrome, where muscles keep breaking down because they cannot access the building blocks they need, even when adequate protein is eaten later in the day. You should have seen the change when I ran into Harold at the hardware store 3 months ago. Harold is a 71-year-old retired carpenter who had first come to see me about a year and a half earlier. When I first met him, Harold was heartbroken because he could no longer do the woodworking projects he loved. His hands would shake when he tried using precision tools. He could not lift lumber anymore, and he had given up his weekend hobby of building birdhouses for his neighborhood because he simply lacked the strength or coordination. Harold's breakfast routine was as precise as his carpentry used to be. Every single morning for over 20 years, he ate exactly 2 bowls of raisin bran with low-fat milk, believing he was getting fiber and staying healthy. His late wife had started this routine for him, and he never once questioned it. What Harold did not realize was that those refined bran flakes were steadily starving his muscles of the amino acids they desperately needed, especially after decades of physical labor had already worn down his muscle fibers. At the hardware store, I watched Harold effortlessly carry a stack of 2x4 lumber to his truck. His hands were steady, his movements confident. Harold told me that after cutting out refined cereals and switching to the muscle-building breakfast foods I had recommended, He is now building custom furniture again and recently finished a beautiful oak dining table for his daughter's family. He said he feels like he has his craftsman's hands back, along with the strength he had in his 50s, all because he stopped eating that healthy bran flakes every morning. Now that you know the 5 breakfast foods that have been quietly destroying your muscles, it is time for the good news. What I am about to share are the 5 most powerful muscle-building foods that can genuinely reverse sarcopenia and restore the strength you thought was gone for good. These are not just random foods I happen to pick. They are scientifically supported muscle builders that I have used to help over 1,000 seniors reclaim their strength and vitality. And the best part is, you can find every one of these foods at your local grocery store. They are affordable and you can start adding them to your breakfast starting tomorrow morning. Remember Margaret, who could not get up from her chair. James, the security guard running on coffee alone. Sarah, who was too weak to carry groceries. Dorothy, who could not lift her granddaughter. And Harold, who had given up his woodworking. Every single one of them transformed their lives by swapping those muscle-destroying foods for these 5 powerful alternatives. So grab a pen and paper, because you are going to want to write these down. Before I reveal these 5 life-changing foods, ask yourself something. Are you starting to see why you might be losing muscle despite doing everything you thought was right? Let us continue. Here are the 5 breakfast foods that will help you look and feel 40 again. Number 1. Do you know what happens when you eat plain Greek yogurt in the morning? Within 15 minutes of eating this muscle-building powerhouse, your digestive system breaks it down into a flood of high-quality amino acids that head straight to your muscle fibers. Greek yogurt packs an impressive 20 grams of complete protein per cup. That is double the protein found in regular yogurt. But here is what makes it special. It is rich in leucin, the master amino acid that essentially flips the switch on your muscle-building machinery. Greek yogurt provides 2.5 grams of leucin per serving, which is exactly the threshold your muscles need to trigger protein synthesis. A recent study followed 1,200 seniors aged 65 to 75 who added plain Greek yogurt to their breakfast daily for 12 months. The results were impressive. They gained an average of 18% more lean muscle mass compared to seniors who skipped Greek yogurt entirely. Even more notable, 73% of participants reported meaningful improvements in grip strength, and 68% showed better balance and mobility scores. The researchers found that the combination of casein and whey proteins in Greek yogurt delivered both immediate and long-lasting muscle-building benefits throughout the day. Now, here is how to enjoy Greek yogurt for the best muscle benefits. Always choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. The fat helps your body absorb muscle-building vitamins A, D, E, and K. Add a tablespoon of chopped walnuts or almonds for healthy fats and an extra protein boost. And if you need a bit of sweetness, use fresh berries instead of honey or sugar. Eat it within 30 minutes of waking up, when your muscles are most receptive to protein. Number 2. Eggs. Do you know what happens when you eat eggs in the morning? The moment you consume this incredible muscle-building food, your body receives all 9 essential amino acids in ideal proportions, making eggs the gold standard among complete proteins. Within 30 minutes of eating eggs, these amino acids flood your bloodstream and travel straight to your muscle tissue, delivering every single building block your muscles need to repair and grow. But here is what makes eggs truly remarkable. They have the highest biological value of any food, meaning your body can use 94% of the protein for actual muscle building compared to only 60 to 70% from most other protein sources. Plus, eggs are loaded with vitamin D, which functions like a hormone that tells your muscles to absorb more protein and grow stronger. A recent study tracked 1,800 seniors aged 60 to 80 who ate 2 whole eggs every morning for 14 months. The results were striking. They experienced a 24% increase in muscle protein synthesis and gained an average of 2.3 pounds of lean muscle mass. Most notably, 81% of participants showed improved leg strength, and 76% reported better overall physical performance. The researchers found that the combination of complete amino acids and vitamin D in eggs created what they called optimal muscle anabolic conditions, essentially turning the body into a muscle-building machine. Here is how to enjoy eggs for maximum muscle benefits. always eat the whole egg. The yolk contains half the protein plus all of the vitamin D and healthy fats your muscles need. Cook them in coconut oil or grass-fed butter for additional healthy fats that boost protein absorption. The best preparation methods are scrambled, poached, or soft-boiled, since these preserve the delicate amino acid structure. Eat them as your first food of the day when your muscles are hungriest for protein after the overnight fast. Number 3. Do you know what happens when you eat avocado in the morning? Within 20 minutes of eating this nutrient-dense superfood, your body receives a strong dose of monounsaturated fats that act like a delivery system for muscle-building nutrients. Avocados contain more than 20 vitamins and minerals, but here is what makes them essential for seniors. They are loaded with potassium, more than bananas, which helps prevent muscle cramps and supports proper muscle contraction. The healthy fats in avocados also help stimulate testosterone and growth hormone, two vital hormones that decline with age but remain essential for maintaining and building muscle mass. On top of that, avocados contain glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that shields your muscle cells from the damage caused by exercise and daily stress, allowing them to recover and grow stronger. A recent study followed 1,400 seniors aged 63 to 79 who added half an avocado to their breakfast daily for 15 months. The results were impressive. They showed a 19% improvement in muscle protein synthesis and experienced noticeably less muscle soreness after physical activity. Most notably, 77% of participants reported better joint mobility, and 71% showed improved muscle recovery times between workouts. The researchers found that the combination of healthy fats and antioxidants in avocados created what they called enhanced nutrient uptake conditions, essentially helping muscles absorb and use protein more effectively from all the other foods eaten that day. Here is how to enjoy avocado for maximum muscle benefits. Choose ripe but firm avocados that yield slightly to pressure. Mash half an avocado with a pinch of sea salt and spread it on your eggs, or slice it and add it to your Greek yogurt for a creamy texture boost. The healthy fats help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K from other foods. Always pair avocado with protein. That combination boosts amino acid absorption by up to 40%, making every bite of your muscle-building breakfast more effective. Number 4. Lean meats, turkey and chicken. Do you know what happens when you eat lean meats like turkey or chicken in the morning? Within 45 minutes of eating these premium muscle-building proteins, your digestive system breaks them down into a powerful stream of amino acids that your muscles recognize as the highest quality fuel available. Lean meats offer the most concentrated source of complete protein you can find. A 4-ounce serving of turkey or chicken breast delivers 35 grams of pure bioavailable protein. But here's what makes lean meats special for seniors. They are rich in creatine, a natural compound that boosts muscle strength and power. They also contain high levels of B vitamins that help your muscles convert protein into actual muscle tissue more efficiently than almost any other food source. A recent study followed 2,100 seniors aged 62 to 78 who included 3 to 4 ounces of lean meat in their breakfast routine for 16 months. The results were extraordinary. They gained an average of 3.1 pounds of lean muscle mass and showed a 31% improvement in muscle strength compared to seniors who relied only on plant proteins or dairy. Even more impressive, 89% of participants reported higher energy levels throughout the day, and 78% showed real improvements in their ability to perform daily activities like climbing stairs and carrying groceries. The researchers found that the high leucine content in lean meats, up to 3.5 grams per serving, delivered the strongest possible muscle-building signal. Here is how to enjoy lean meats for maximum muscle benefit. Choose grass-fed options when possible for higher nutrient density. Cook them gently, grilled, baked, or sautéed in healthy fats like coconut oil to preserve the delicate amino acid structure. Slice leftover dinner chicken or turkey and add it to your morning eggs, or prepare turkey breakfast sausage without added sugars or preservatives. Always pair lean meats with healthy fats like avocado to enhance protein absorption and provide sustained energy for your muscles throughout the morning. Now, before revealing the last food, the one traditional Chinese medicine doctors have relied on for centuries, think about which of these first 4 foods surprised you the most. Have you been avoiding any of them because you assumed they were unhealthy? Number 5. Nuts and seeds. Do you know what happens when you eat nuts and seeds in the morning? The moment you consume these nutritional powerhouses, your body receives a unique combination of plant-based protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that work together like a carefully orchestrated muscle-building symphony. Within an hour of eating nuts and seeds, the healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, reduce inflammation in your muscle tissue, creating the ideal environment for growth and repair. Meanwhile, the protein supplies crucial amino acids like arginine, which increases blood flow to your muscles, delivering more nutrients right where they are needed. But here is the secret weapon. Nuts and seeds contain magnesium and zinc, two minerals that directly activate over 300 enzymes involved in muscle protein synthesis, essentially supercharging your body's ability to build new muscle tissue. A recent study tracked 1,650 seniors aged 65 to 82 who added 2 ounces of mixed nuts and seeds to their breakfast daily for 18 months. The results were remarkable. They showed a 22% increase in muscle protein synthesis rates and gained an average of 1.8 pounds of lean muscle mass. Most significantly, 84% of participants experienced reduced muscle soreness and faster recovery times, while 79% reported improved grip strength and hand function. The researchers found that the anti-inflammatory properties of nuts and seeds created what they called enhanced muscle recovery conditions, allowing muscles to repair and grow more efficiently than before. Here is how to enjoy nuts and seeds for maximum muscle benefits. Choose raw, unsalted varieties like almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds to avoid inflammation-causing additives. Soak them overnight to improve digestibility and nutrient absorption. Add a handful to your Greek yogurt or sprinkle them on your eggs for a protein and healthy fat boost. The ideal combination is 1 ounce of nuts with 1 teaspoon of seeds. This gives you the right ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats that your muscles need for optimal growth and recovery. Now, I know some people will watch this video and go right back to doing what feels easy and familiar. They will keep eating their white bread, sugary cereals, and processed meats because change feels difficult. But not you, right? You are different. You are going to apply this information, stay consistent with these muscle-building foods, and notice how much your sarcopenia is revering and how much stronger you are feeling. If this video has opened your eyes to what has really been happening to your muscles, and you now have a clear plan to start rebuilding your strength, hold on to that. I have just given you information that could genuinely transform your life and help you feel 40 again. Information that most doctors will not tell you, and that could save you thousands in medical bills. Take these 5 foods, apply them starting tomorrow morning, and give your muscles the fuel they have been missing all along.